Tune in on 95.9 FM or online at revupslu.com. Call the studio at 572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Our drive is brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
In moments of loss, finding comfort and support is essential. At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we understand that every life is unique, and honoring that life is our mission. Our dedicated team is here to guide you through every step, offering personalized services that reflect the cherished memories of your loved one. From traditional funerals to modern celebrations of life, we provide a range of options tailored to your family's wishes. Whether it's a simple service or an elaborate tribute, we ensure every detail is handled with care. Let us help you create a meaningful farewell, honoring the legacy of your loved one. To learn more about our services, call 758-452-2021 Castries, 758-454-9239 Viewfort. Visit us at www.rambalisfuneral.com. Rambali's Funeral Parlor, where memories are cherished and love is everlasting.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you checking us out or viewing us on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, and also on DBS Television. Welcome to Hard Drive for today, Monday, the 10th of November. My name is Andre Paul, the co-host of the show, none other than the lovely Kina. Kina, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Andre Paul. Good morning to our viewers and listeners on X, Facebook and Instagram, and on DBS as well. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm well.
That's good. Good.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was restful, except for the latter part this morning.
What happened
I
this
kept
morning?
on waking for whatever reason.
Maybe too much rest.
Maybe that's what Emmanuel said. But
So you see?
no,
two Frenchmen couldn't be wrong.
Maybe you guys have a point, but I just kept on waking, and I would go back to sleep and waking, thinking it's 5 o'clock, and it's not, because I usually get up at 5.
Sounds like a well-rested person to me. Your solution looking for a problem?
No, I was just trying to. That's the first time it happened. So I would wake every hour. Yeah.
Wow.
Till by 4, Snow was like, okay, I'm tired of this. And she left her bed and she came on and she's like, kiss. She kissed me on my cheek and she kind of hugged me and I was like, oh.
Boy, Snow is
yeah, she's different.
is a character.
I know, right?
Snow is a character.
I know.
Yeah. But I understand that's just the way man's best friend. That's why we must really feel for stray dogs. You see stray dogs?
Oh yeah.
I
totally
really
agree.
feel for stray dogs because stray dogs have a hard life. They have a hard
It's
life.
a hard knock life out there for those
for
dogs,
them.
right?
I mean, remember, think of it. Dogs have no hands.
No, they
right?
don't, and they have to. You the one that has to give them something to eat.
Exactly. And imagine they're out there struggling to make it, because it's just in both humans and animals to survive. That's just the way it is.
Oh yeah.
You for example, a vehicle would hit a dog, and you could see the dog struggling to get up.
Struggling to get up, yes.
Yeah, because they don't want to die.
They don't want to die.
That's just the way it is. So when we see stray dogs, we must really feel for that and give them enough respect, because they are out there making it, man. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't say making. They're trying to make it. And some of us, man, we make it more difficult for them. We hit them. And we injure them.
We injure them.
We throw hot water. We're very mean to those creatures, man. No. A stray dog is having a hard life, and probably most times the stray dog is a stray because of human behavior. You hear people tell you they just take them too many pups and they just drop them someplace
on the side of the road, or they stop them, right? Or sometimes some of the strays, they run away from home because of the treatment they're getting there, hoping that, hey, when I leave, I go somewhere else, someone will treat me better, and it doesn't always happen.
You serious? That actually happens? That stray dogs leave So
when some dogs, when they run away from, some dogs do.
Wow.
Yeah, they do.
I
Some
never
dogs
thought
do.
about that.
They do.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because to me, dogs just take it. You understand? They just
Some dogs
take
do
the
leave
abuse.
the environment that they're in. They do.
And in my mind, they just rather take the abuse than to take a risk being out there on their own. That's interesting what you're saying.
Yeah, they do. Just like us humans, dogs have feelings as well. You know, and a lot of the times we do not think about it. I remember when I was a child, my mom always said to us, do not ever hit a dog or be mean to a dog, because when you get older, it's almost as if what you do to animals is going to come back to you twice as fold. So be respectful to animals and treat them with love. My mom said that to us early on. And we were not beating any dog or anything of that sort, but that's something she really etched in us as children. Do not be mean to animals or anyone whatsoever.
And then you have people who try to be nice, who try to be loving and caring and so on. And some people who are in your realm, they don't like that.
Yeah, true.
You know, huh? They don't like that.
They some people are like that.
Some people feel that they're the only ones who are supposed to be treated nicely.
Yeah, and when you treat someone else nicely, then they have a problem,
with that.
That's insecurity on their part, you know, and they have deep wounds and they need healing, and that's why they're overreacting in that way. Sometimes it's not their fault, you know. Some people, we're not born that way, you know, and depending on the environment that we're in, sometimes we can grow up in the same environment, Andre, as brother and sister. Let's put that example out there. And different upbringing. You know, you came first, I came second. So depending on what place our parents were in life, that's the treatment you're going to get then. Maybe they were struggling to make ends meet. By the time I came around, it was a lot easier. Maybe they were a little bit more loving when you were around. And by the time I came around, it was like, another child again, my place, huh? And then I would feel it. So the environment, we can be grow up in the same environment, same household, and have different temperaments and traits, you know.
Sorry.
But as adults, it's up to you to try your best to become a better person. Yeah, seek help, you know.
Okay. All right. So let me just do some house chores before we move on. At the Tomaso Bread Place today, you can sample saltfish and stewed backs with ground provisions, lentils, avocado, and cucumber salad. All the good stuff, folks. All the good stuff that contributes to good health. All right, it's available there. That's the saltfish and stewed backs with ground provisions, lentils, avocado, and cucumber salad. And of course, the usual CMOS flavors are available. Coconut, ginger, peanut and peanut punch, and regular CMOS with flax seeds and chia seeds. All that's good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Gut health. And
Last
that's
night-
what we've been pushing lately.
Yeah. Last night I was driving on Miku Street, and because the Labour Party had the big meeting on the
actually
Cassius
went
Market.
out there?
No,
Or just passing?
driving past on Miku Street. You know, as somebody like me, you know, I cannot afford the luxury of finding myself at any of those meetings, because if I do, people will just figure, hey, look at how he
now
is.
labeled as
That's why he is. I can't wear a red shirt or a yellow shirt. Imagine that on TV.
on television,
Okay.
right? I get you.
What a life, boy. Yes. So last night I was passing there about 7:30 on Miku Street where KFC is there. Let me tell you, boy, KFC had a sea of red. A sea of red, and a lot of them were young people going to buy KFC. So I know KFC had it good last night.
Oh yeah. Well, definitely.
They got it real good, really good.
They should maybe come up with some promotion and name it after elections.
Yeah, for true. Yeah, you know, I was playing down at Victoria in Choiseul maybe about a month ago, somewhere around there. And while I was there, a massive truck just parked next to the bar where I was playing in Victoria, right at Myron's Place, cool joint. And let me tell you, a sea of red came out there, boy, and they stayed there. They stayed there.
Just
enjoying the music.
Okay.
Yeah, a sea of red.
That's
yeah,
cool.
man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's super cool, actually. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder why, I haven't done it. I've never gone to a political rally. I think maybe when I was a child, just once with my mom. And for me, it was like me, just a whole bunch of people. Are you there as a child, not knowing anything?
What's going on?
And the next time, I was like, me, Mavli Ali. I didn't say that to her, but I went hiding, played with my siblings or something.
I remember one time my grandfather, and I say it boldly, Mamali. He was a very strong UWP supporter, I can tell you that.
My word.
He was strong, he ain't nothing. And I remember there was a victory celebration on Rat Island. Now in those days, my grandfather, it was rare for him to tell you, let's go for a lime. So when he asks you to go for a lime, boy, you're so excited because you're going for a lime. And what they used to do every time they have elections, my grandfather was always having some jalopy he was driving, always some old them making endless noise, pang, pang, pang. I remember that well. And, up to now.
Do you think there's a reason he was doing it?
My grandfather's the kind of man, wants to economize. That's just the way he was. So what they do is to give him a vehicle, almost new vehicle, right, to go and pick up people to come and vote and so on. And of course, he'd be happy, and I'm happy about that because I go inside of a vehicle that I'm making pang, pang, pang. So he said, Andre, let's go. He said, command, man, Andre, let's go. Good thing I was already announcing those days.
I know, right? I know, right?
Who I supported.
You get a hit.
The man give me an order, Andre, let's go. So, I go in. Hey, boy, when I got there to Rat Island, we had to take a boat and get to Rat Island. One fete taking place there, boy. One kind of fete. All the fellas, John, now he's not the late Sir John,
right.
George Mallet, and all the popular guys back in the day used to be there. I was a little boy, a young little fella there watching these fellas. But I enjoyed the food.
I think that's why some people do go free food. Do they still get free food? People talk about that a lot. Chicken and rum. So if they were, why were they at KFC then?
No, maybe not last night.
Oh.
Maybe not that.
Okay, but
that
others,
event,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So there's certain events, when you go there, you're good to go.
Just imagine you haven't eaten a meal for the day, right? And then politicians think, hey, look at the numbers, boy. And the person is saying, me? I just come out there for food, because I haven't eaten in 2 days.
Yeah, because I think they were there from since 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon up until the time that I saw them there. I guess they took a break and, they go and come back. But I found it kind of strange that the Prime Minister didn't make the announcement at that event. He actually had a national broadcast making the announcement. Now I don't know if he said it. He must have said something about it at the event last night on the market steps. But he actually had a national address and giving the date for the elections. So I thought maybe the plan was to make the announcement with all the cheering and everything and the surprise
suspense.
That's what I thought.
I do think that people were aware that by the time they got to the market steps, that was coming. And I remember just last night, a friend of mine, a media person, he owns a television station in Grenada, and he says, are y'all going to call elections tonight? Is the Prime Minister doing that? I was like, yeah, I think so. And then I'm like, what about you? What do you think? And he says, yes, that's what definitely was going to happen. Because as media people, you are aware certain signs, market steps, and then after, an address, so you know that's coming. Yeah.
Especially the launching of all the candidates and everything taking place on both sides.
Right.
Yes. So I honestly, I thought probably it would have been called in January. That's what I thought.
You thought so?
I didn't think it was going to be December.
I think there was a little buzz because the entire thing for me as well, Andre, a whole year, a whole year ahead. That's confidence right there. He has to be really. That's a bold move.
That's right.
That's a bold move.
I think I have the clip there where he's actually saying when the elections are constitutionally due.
November. I can't remember the exact date, but sometime in November.
Let me play the clip.
Okay.
Let me play the clip.
This would mean that general elections are constitutionally due for the latest 3 months after the first sitting of Parliament, which was held on 12 August 2021. In effect, general elections are not constitutionally due until November 12, 2026.
Hear that?
Sometime in November.
Yeah, November the 12th. That's when it's constitutionally due. So,
he's confident in his record.
Yes.
That's what I can say.
He said the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
The numbers speak for themselves. And I said January because I thought that there would have been a little wait in terms of, when I say wait, meaning after St. Jude, the transition is complete and everything is, functioning. That's when I thought maybe it would have been called. But he did say that the transition will begin.
Well, some things were definitely happening behind the scenes. You know how politicians and their team work, and obviously with that happening, I think I saw a few videos posted on social media. There was a tour and there was another news clipping and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, I think that's heading somewhere. It's definitely heading somewhere. But for me, December 1st, every voter should ask the candidates some questions. What are your plans for St. Lucia, for jobs, for housing, for crime prevention? They come to you, forget about the chicken and rum and all that kind of stuff, but you need to think about your future and that of your children. Not who shouted the loudest, not who had the most numbers at their political rallies, because at the end of the day, after you've casted that vote, you have to wait 4 years, 5 years. So whatever decisions that's made during that period of time, or the promises that were made during that period of time, we already know that, okay, promises are made and promises are not kept. And closer to election, then you say, okay, well, let me run and do this, and let me go fix that road, and let me do this, and let me give so many promises are being, put out there. But you have to think of your future and that of your children's future. It's one thing, and whether somebody wants to label me red or green or yellow or blue or orange, I don't really care at this point, because I know what I'm feeling. I know the pinch when it comes, and we all feel the pinch. I'm not seeing red or yellow in that. I have my nieces and nephews. They're still young. I'm now in my 40s. I mean, when I look at the policies being put and the promises being made, I know what I felt for the last 4 years. And based on that alone, I am going to cast my ballot. And that's what I'm going to do. Put my X where it deems necessary, based on what God wants me to do.
Well, let me just play the clip with the Prime Minister addressing the issue of St. Jude. I'm not going to make any comments. Let the Prime Minister say what he's saying, and I will repeat what he says. When it comes to those things,
just repeat.
Yeah, I repeat. What I hear him saying, I repeat that. And then now you have other people say, "Oh, you believe what the man is saying."
That's what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
You could only repeat it.
So let's listen to what he's saying as far as St. Jude is concerned.
The construction of the buildings at St. Jude Hospital are completed. The hospital is ready to be commissioned, with phase 1 of the transition commencing in the next few days. When we implemented universal health care, we did so to ensure that no pregnant mother was denied basic maternal care, and that our people could be screened for non-communicable diseases free of charge.
So you heard what the Prime Minister said?
In the news,
he said construction is complete or completed. Construction has been completed. That's what he says, right? So you can not believe him. It's up to you. But that's what he says.
That's what he said.
Okay, construction is fini. That's what he says. And he says now phase 1 of the transition period will take place in a few days. That's what he said. Phase 1 of the transition will take place in a few days. I'm just repeating what he said. All right. And he also said that the building is ready to be commissioned. That's what he said. So I'm just repeating what he said.
That's a good thing,
But I keep saying this. I think politicians should really, really work on their integrity. That people automatically recognize you as a person of integrity, and they don't question what you're saying.
I knock on wood. I totally agree.
And I'm also saying, right, that when whoever says something, whether it's opposition or in government, they have a way of accusing each other of lying, telling lies. That doesn't help the situation at all.
No, it doesn't. You're dividing a country when you do that.
Yeah, it doesn't help the situation. So when the politician says something, even if it's the Prime Minister, they're going to tell you, I don't really believe it. Because their minds are already poisoned that politicians tell lies. Because if
Yeah.
the politicians are always accusing each other of telling lies, what do you expect to happen? That's why I said I don't like it. I don't like it.
I
Now,
don't like it
when we have the meet the opposition,
And meet the
we have
minister.
minister and so on and so on. These are the people's programs. I don't really get involved per se, unless of course they're saying something that may be libelous
And
and
you need
could
to-
get us in
right.
trouble, right? But for me, when I'm having my shows here, I dissuade people from doing that sort of thing, calling people liars. I don't like that.
You don't have
I don't
proof
like
of it,
that.
so why would you, I mean, yeah, someone made a promise that they're going to fix that road between that time. And sometimes things do happen. And that's again, too, the politicians sometimes need to come out. Don't be afraid. Yes, some people will judge you, but what about the others who might not? And as Andre is saying about, he's speaking of integrity, come on and just be honest with us. Let us decide, you know.
And try to remember.
Don't hold it up.
Try to remember what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That too.
Yeah, try to remember what is it that you said at a particular point in time, because people now record stuff
Oh,
and
yeah.
they replay and say, look, here's what you're
Here's what
saying
you
there,
said.
and you say you didn't say that,
Mm-hmm.
or you will not say a particular thing.
Mhm.
I'll be very careful and remember
Yeah,
what
we
you're
have to
saying,
be
because
very,
people quick to come and tell you you're a liar. To me, that's not a listen. I've been around. When I say been around, I mean ladies and so on. And I can tell you, it's not a nice thing when a lady accuses you of being a liar. That's not a nice thing at all. I don't like to hear it, to be honest with you, when the person is actually accusing you of lying. So I don't know how the politicians will take
Accusing
that.
you of lying when you're innocent, or lying when you know you've lied?
Well, exactly. Yeah,
Which
yeah,
one?
yeah. Well, okay. You're right. Accusing you of telling a lie when you know for true you did lie.
Okay, well, Sumati
Okay.
just admit Umati and just carry on from there. Apologize, and say, you know what, and put measures in place so that you won't lie again. I'm not quite sure. Just don't lie at all.
Do like Donald Trump. Did I say that? Did I say that?
You're so bad.
It's true.
You
Because
know?
sometimes you forget what you said.
Sometimes you do, yeah. No, but how could you forget what you said if you're telling the truth? Because if you're telling the truth, you're honest. You're telling the truth. You will remember.
I'm just thinking of what you
You
said
will
there.
remember. If you're honest, you will remember what you said. You might, not say the exact thing, in the exact wording, but it will still be the same. Yeah, if you're telling the truth, there will be similarities. Yeah, in what you're saying. It ain't gonna be a lie. So they could backtrack and nah.
Well, let me just give the politicians a little advice. Please try your best as you can to always tell the truth. And even if sometimes the truth gets you in trouble, so be it.
Yeah.
Because people will admire you for your integrity.
Oh yes.
Okay? And you could be dead a long time, they'll come and say, one thing, boy, about so-and-so, that man always told the
spoke
truth.
the truth. Yes.
Even when it hurt his followers, and even when it hurt himself. Okay?
Yeah, don't let pride get in the way. Don't let what people say to you, because sometimes, Andre, we have been seeing is that when an individual has support, their back is broad, so the lies continue because I have backup.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, you go down at the biggest liar and manipulator ever. Would you want to be seen as that?
And that's what I was saying a while ago there. To me, the worst thing of all is when a female, right, calls you a liar. You're a liar. Two things: to call me a liar and call me boy. Oh my gosh!
No, that was a stab right there. The boy thing.
Boy.
Nah.
And I've heard that's not me. They call me boy. But I've heard ladies call the fellas, and it's usually after they tell the lies and the cheating and so on.
They can.
I tell
By
you,
that
boy,
time, that person
boy,
is so angry.
Boy, bring the child money for me, boy. Boy, see me say what? How the person can take that? Yeah. So the politicians shouldn't feel like it's all right that I have a broad back. I can take that kind of thing. People calling me a liar. Take that seriously and try to work on that. I've been doing talk shows, maybe about close to a good 20-something years, something like that. A long time, right? And one thing I'll tell you, nobody has ever accused me of lying.
Of lying.
Not once. Everyone say, Andre, but you lie about that.
Go down in the history books as someone with integrity, and I think that's lacking in elective politics of late.
I agree. I agree.
So many things are being said, and there's proof of it. And the other thing too, we have been seeing or hearing individuals accusing another with no evidence. I don't like that either. That should never happen.
Exactly.
Should never ever happen.
Accusing people of being corrupt and things like that. They're forgetting that this is a small country, right? The people that you're accusing of being corrupt, and sometimes they just say it in sort of blasé kind of way.
Yeah.
They just say you corrupt. And then you have families. These people have families. They have children.
They have children.
They could be bullied.
You know.
You don't think about those things.
And that's gonna be a stain on their character for a very, very long time. It doesn't just go away.
So Kina, do you want to speculate as to the outcome of the elections? What do you think?
So.
Okay, no problem.
Elections are always tricky, Andre. You just never know and that's the thing for me. I do not know exactly who will win St. Lucia's next general election. That's up to the people to decide. But what I do know is that every vote has power, and you have to exercise your power on that particular day.
Now, sometimes I find that the politicians forget that every vote has power, because sometimes the way that they treat certain people, I'm saying, but wait a second, aren't you forgetting that you need every vote?
I know, right?
For you to be just alienating people like that? I don't understand that. To me, you're supposed to be, you try your best to be nice with everybody. As the Apostle Paul said, go as far as you can for peace and so on.
Right?
You don't just come and just alienating people just so big by your actions, because you feel as though I want to show people, I'm strong and I can take the tough decisions, that sort of thing. And even when you take the tough decisions, you could do it in such a way that you try to mellow things a little.
Oh yeah, I have to agree.
By using words like, I really regret having to do that, but I don't have a choice based on this and that and the other. And I have to take that decision.
Yeah.
But we just can be just doing things.
Don't shove things down
Helter
people's
skelter,
throat.
sorry.
No. It happens.
Anyway, so Michael Pilgrim is a former acting prime minister, and he was kind of weighing in, and he was saying that sometimes elections are difficult to call,
It is.
And he was making a very, very crucial point. He was saying sometimes now, you have the speakers, right, from various parties who may just say something on the spur of the moment, and that could just destroy them.
Oh yeah. And that's what I do not know, that's what they seem to forget. You could have done so many things in your community, your district or whatever, and that one thing that you say, people are a lot wiser now. They ain't that stupid. It's not all about chicken and rum, and yeah, you might still think it is. But nowadays, no, people are a lot smarter.
And to make some outlandish statements, just so,
yeah,
just saying some kinds of things. He says that alone could turn the tide. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful. So, I think a lot has been said over the last few months. A lot has been said by the politicians.
I'll be quite honest with you. When the last year and a half, the mépris and all of that, I was like, left on to that alone, I wouldn't vote. Because I was like, you know what? Nah, that person that I thought of voting for, I wasn't going to, because that person was just, I'm like, what? Nah, man, nah. I took a back step on that, and I realized that even too, some of them, and the good thing now too is that a lot of the politicians have realized, hey, we are tired of the name calling and the méprisant and all of that happening in the midst of campaign mode, and they're stopping. They're stopping, and I really have to say hats off to Marcella Johnson. That video that was circulating of late, where she was just, on her business, going to, a rally, and they came around her and she was dancing. That show of love and unity on both sides really touched my heart. I
think that touched a lot of St. Lucians.
It really, really touched me.
Yeah. Because she could have just done what the average person would have done, which is to bring, turn up the window.
Yes.
And ignore those in red.
And who knows, that alone that she did on that particular day could have won her 10 votes. Because the people would realize, hey, well, you know what, she's with us, she's dancing with us. If something is happening, she's for the people too. She ain't no side.
I wonder if she got any flack from her.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. No. I very much doubt it. No.
Yeah, you don't think so? Okay, all right. Now, interesting turn of events. Really, really interesting. A former Speaker of the House, and he's also a former chairman of the United Workers' Party, Mr. Andy Daniel. Remember his stint as Speaker of the House?
Yeah.
Boy, I heard him speaking, and my gosh, let me see if I can get his clip.
To play?
Yeah, let me see if I can get it. Jay, what clip would that be again? Let me see. I forgot which one of them, But he's like 180-degree turn, man.
These things happen with elective politics. People change, politics change, and sometimes folks just get tired, of what's happening within a party. So, he was looking for something different. That's all I could say. Or maybe he's just lost. He may have lost faith in how certain things were done. But I'm not quite sure what happened after the fact. I always say that if you have a problem with someone, you go to them and you let them know that. If you can't, maybe you go to someone that knows them to try to, get them to, come to you and so on. But moves like that definitely raises eyebrows, Andre.
Yeah. I heard the gentleman speaking, and he's like a complete turn, right? And he actually mentioned the leader of the opposition's name over and over again, right? There seems to be that considered effort to ensure that, well, at least where he's concerned, that Mr. Shastri doesn't return to office, well, to power. Wow, boy, that is something else. I wish I could find the clip, because he's really, really serious. And remember, that was a former chairman of the party.
Imagine that.
Gee, boy, I wonder.
A complete turn,
Yeah, I wonder what could have happened. What could have happened within the fold there. And it's not the first time you're hearing that. There's so many who were on that side there, and they've just gone on the other side.
On the other side, things have happened as well, and they've gone on the other side. That's what happens in politics over the years.
Recently?
Not recently, but...
Well, I was talking about what happened recently. Yeah.
But for me, that's not going to sway my vote. If I have to vote for any party, somebody coming to say, you know what, I don't... Nah, it's. I want to see the manifesto. I want to hear what policies that you are going to put in place. So for me, that wouldn't work on me, no matter who does it on either party. No.
Yeah, very, very interesting. That turn of events.
It wouldn't change.
I wish I was able to find the clip, but I'm not sure exactly which one that I played this morning. Well, I had the numbers, but I did some editing, and I didn't keep the numbers there for that particular one. But anyway, I'm sure that'll be played all over the place.
Yeah.
Let's just talk a little about Jamaica. They're going to be having National Day of Prayers on the 15th and the 16th of November. All right, so that's in another this weekend. This weekend, yeah. They got hit badly.
That's a direct hit from Hurricane Melissa there.
So 2 days of prayer for the nation, and I mean, prayer doesn't hurt. In the
and a
final
lot
analysis.
of people in the Caribbean have been praying for them as well, even before the storm, Hurricane Melissa, and after. And people continue to pray. It's always great to pray. You never know what God could do in the midst of it.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all. Yeah. So if you yes, prayer and action, prayer and action.
Yeah.
But when people talk about praying, people tend to look down and say, what prayer is you all talking about? But the Bible says, if my people who are called by my name will repent, and these are the conditions. Repent, meaning we turn away from the bad things that we are doing. He says, when you call me, I will hear. I'll be like Siri. Yeah. I'll be like Siri. Yeah, let me see if I can get Siri's attention. Siri. So that's what God is saying.
That's what God says.
Yeah.
So we listen sometimes when He says,
Yeah. So He said, if you repent, we turn away from our wicked way. He said, when you call me, I'll be like Siri.
Yeah. That's a cool way to put it.
I'm listening. All right. Now, there was an interesting story there, Kina. I spoke about this. I was following the story. I think was it earlier this year when this thing happened. A black woman from Illinois, she called 911 to complain about an intruder or a possible or suspected prowler, right, who was in the area, not knowing that, boy, this was going to be her last few days on the face of the planet. It's amazing how these things happen, how these things can escalate so
quickly.
Into conflict and death. It's amazing.
Was it Sonia Massey and something happened?
Bravo to you. You have very good memory. Yeah, her name was Sonia Massey. And interesting, I think her mom had already told the police officers that she was not.
Has a mental
she has some mental issues. So please be careful when you go there. Please be careful. So we had these two white police officers. They have body cam. So they're recording what's going on. So they're interviewing her. So the lady now was boiling a pot of water. Okay, so it was boiling. It's at boiling point. So the officer may be already thinking, well, this person is not really of sound mind, so she may try something. So he said to her, words to the effect that, listen, we don't need that that fire thing here right now. There's no need for that. The lady's response was, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's what she said.
I rebuke you in the name
of Jesus. I
Jesus.
rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Let me just read what happened there based on body cam footage. Officer Grayson, his name is Grayson, then threatens, imagine the lady say, right? The lady said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That's on video. And what she said, when he said to her to turn off the water, he said, we don't need that, the boiling water here right now. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. So Officer Grayson then threatens to shoot her.
Oh, my word.
Right? Because that's what he's already peeved that she said to him, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. What's the big deal?
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
What's the big
Where's
deal?
the compassion?
Yeah,
you already told that she has a mental condition.
Exactly.
And she said nothing wrong.
And you threatened to shoot a woman right away, right? And hear that. The woman now then apologizes, and she ducks, right, behind a counter because she realized the guy is going to take her out. She could feel, she could sense, she could taste her death, right? So she ducks now, and she hides, she covers her face. She had a mitten in her hand, and she covers her face with the mitten. And they said as she briefly rises now, Officer Grayson is there with his gun, and he shoots her 3 times.
I wonder what was going through the head of this man. This is definitely troubling. It's heartbreaking.
And he shot her 3 times in the face. So you all point blank range, pow, pow, pow.
That's lethal force.
And by the way, that one, she has a child, by the way. She has a young child, right? So Daniel Fultz, the Grayson's lawyer, said, now listen to that. This even gets worse. It's bad what he did, but listen to what the lawyer is saying. During closing arguments, right, that what happened to Massey was a tragedy but not a crime.
Yeah?
He stated when Massey said, quote, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, Officer Grayson believed it was a threat.
How? That lawyer needs to, what? Anyway, how?
Yeah.
No, but it's okay. A threat against your life, okay, fine. But what did she do after the fact?
The lady
she
did
didn't
nothing.
pull anything. She had a mitten over her face.
And she's vulnerable. She has no gun, nothing.
But sometimes you really can get into the head of someone on the other end. Maybe what he's dealt with in the past, it was maybe just a reaction, not knowing. And sometimes what people think of going into situations of that sort, you just never know. But still, she had no weapon in her hand. She had a mitten. Again, I would love to hear what he says maybe 2, 3, 5 years from now when he's speaking of,
by the way,
that incident.
He pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sound like Scooby-Doo right now.
Yeah, he pleaded not guilty. Well, they're going to sentence him in January next year. And he could be sentenced up to 20 years in prison. Or probation.
Probation, no.
That may happen. It's up to the judge to decide.
3 times, man.
But it's amazing. You see, you call the police, Monje. You call the police for assistance. You have no idea.
Yeah, that will be your last day.
That is so freaky. So freaky. Anyway, talking about that, yesterday...
Some serious feelings there in training. Judgment and restraint. He, just blew off the handle.
I told you that I have Tony's ashes.
Yes.
They're in a box.
In a box.
In a box in my living room, not too far from where I sit. So Tony's kind of beside me on a daily basis, right? Because I'm going to keep the ashes. If I can keep them forever, that'd be good.
So from day one.
And I think that's the advantage of cremation. To be honest with you, because remember when you bury somebody, you're not supposed to go back there because the person is buried. Unless, of course, some reason a court has to now decide if you can go back and
exhume the body. And so on, right.
So basically, you're separated from your loved one. And I mean, I think it's obvious if we were to go and look in there, I don't think we'd like what we're going to see. So I think cremation gives us that edge, if you will. You have the person next to you in a sense. Now I have the box there on a chair in my living room, and yesterday I finally decided to open it and to take a pic. Okay, so I took a pic. Two people asked me to share it with them. One is my sister, and the other one is somebody else. And I shared it. And, you could see the people kind of like freaking out, right? That this is really Tony that's there.
Yeah.
So as I said, I don't know, what's your take on that? To me, that's the better option. Because when the person is buried, you can't go back there. There's and how often do we go to the cemetery anyway to go check on?
Some people do go to the cemetery as often as they can. Maybe the person's birthday or when they do miss that loved one, they would go. I'm not quite sure. I've never been in a situation.
Yeah, but
so to visit anyone at the cemetery. But I have to agree with you to a certain extent that hey, you still have that semblance that my loved one is still right there with me. Though they're gone, but what's in there is them.
Exactly.
It's their ashes. You can't hug them, but at least you still have a part of them right there in the house with you. And I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because even if you go, you stand there and you're talking to your loved one, there's like a barrier there. There's no real connection. So I'm just saying, making a little case for cremation.
For cremation?
I want to go like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go. I'm saying it publicly. I want to go like that. And whoever wants to have a little piece of me when I'm gone.
You should see his facial expression, St. Lucia, and those listening in the diaspora. Whoever wants to have a piece of me when I'm gone, with that smile on his face. Wait, I love that. And that's because with the ashes, though, it could be put in pendants and so on, and whoever wants to have a piece of you, that part of
a piece of me.
They can,
Yeah,
they could have this little,
and you keep it forever.
Right, and keep it forever. So I understand. Yeah.
So I can tell you, Tony has a lot of ashes there, boy. Tony have ashes for days.
You did say it was heavy.
It was heavy. The
last time.
Yeah. So we're gonna work on getting an urn and so on, and
good. Finally.
And placed in that. But I like the box being kind of close to me there.
That's good.
Yeah, I can feel his presence, and even if I'm still struggling with his death, I still cannot believe that Tony's not there. I still can't. It's like that thing just. Well, imagine he's actually gone.
And that's true. Sometimes things we take for granted, because we know of death, we know it's inevitable, but we just don't think that it's going to happen. When it's going to happen, it still hits us. It still takes us by surprise, and it we go into this space thinking, and some people are still in shock for years. Some people, when they're coming around, that's when it really hits. And I'm happy that you're dealing with it in the best way that you can, and you're speaking about it as well. So I'm assuming that's helping too.
Yeah. And I really feel for people who've lost children, for example. I mean, I have Tony all my life, right? As long as I can remember. But there are people who have had children who are born and the children die very, very early, sometimes stillbirth. I mean, a whole bunch of ways. I could imagine the amount of hurt and pain that these people are going through.
Not being able to, share anything with that person.
They're living, but I'm sure a part of them is sort of like,
you go back there,
kind of dead kind of thing. Yeah, it's like
some individual.
Yeah.
The good thing you had 67 years with him.
Yeah. As long as I know, every major experience in my life, Tony was there. We just kind of like went our own ways when we started having girlfriends.
As with anything, and work.
Y'all again, Y'all again. Y'all again.
I'm sure there are other things that may have taken you.
Yeah,
away,
so we kind of like drifted, right? But we're still always there. But in the last 2 years, when I fell ill.
You did mention that.
Yeah,
before.
Tony was there every single day at that hospital. I can't forget that. All right, and then we decided now to start the radio station. We're spending much more time together. And there are times, he just come home and sit there. He said to me, I just come in for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, just 2 minutes.
He just sits.
Kile, go there. It's a
And
half
now I
hour, whole
understand why
hour.
having the ashes there with you. Yeah. Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
we got along very, very well together. Of course, we had our arguments and things like that. We argued about playing Christmas music early. That was a big argument.
Amongst other things, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a sticker for tradition. And imagine I argued with him and I made my point. He said to me, I understand what you're saying, but these are different times and whatever. And eventually I said, okay, all right. Let's
You wanted
go.
to start Christmas music in December.
Yeah, exactly. And not just December, 22nd. Yeah, 22nd.
That's like really, really old school there.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we have the Christmas season now, to be honest with you, and we already started.
We started.
Already started.
Early, yeah.
So you those of you who listen to Rev-Up, you have Tony to thank for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if you don't mind me playing it or us
Yeah.
playing it at this
I
time.
don't think they mind. They do
Yeah.
call for it anyways.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, so Tony boy, you're missed without a doubt, without a doubt. But as I said, I have a little something to hold on to.
Right?
Okay. All right. The Trump administration, the latest one, right now they're making it very difficult for people who want to go and have their babies in the U.S. Boy, if they say if they suspect that's what you're doing, you ain't getting that
You
visa.
ain't getting that visa.
If
no.
they have any suspicions, and I'm sure, boy, their tentacles must be up. The fact that you see that directive has already been given,
Oh yeah.
everybody's under suspicion
Oh, yeah.
once you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's one. There are a few other things that
I wonder if at
mhm.
some point in time they're gonna maybe when you get through the thing, okay, give you this pregnancy test and be like, go check.
Who knows?
It just crossed my mind here. I'm like,
Who knows?
okay.
Who knows?
'Cause some people don't show,
Mhm. That's true. Hey, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So look out, folks, because the American embassy, they're going to be looking out for you too. Okay, you wanted to go into the country to have a child in the U.S. Trump is clamping down on this. So here's the latest one that they're clamping down now. You might be rejected for a visa if you have certain medical conditions. Yes, and the conditions include hear that. You might be, folks. This is serious. You might be rejected if you're applying for a U.S. visa for certain medical conditions, and the two most common, maybe across the globe, diabetes and obesity. Yeah. So if you're diabetic,
That's troubling.
that's very troubling.
That's very, very. It's very
Yeah.
troubling.
If you're diabetic, there's a very real possibility you will not be given a U.S. visa. Now they're explaining. Here's what they're saying. They said that the guidance says that such people could become a public charge, meaning a potential drain on the
On
U.S.
the-
resources
the health
because of the health
aspect,
issues and also
right.
because of the person's age.
Yeah.
So this may be
I
a factor
understand
as
to
well.
a certain extent, but that's still troubling.
Hmm.
That's still troubling.
And just so you know, about 10% of the world's population has diabetes. All right? Cardiovascular disease is also common. That's the leading killer across the globe,
Across the
the
world,
cardiovascular
right.
disease. So, and of course, that's related to obesity and so on. Boy, this is just so weird. Interesting.
It's just a fancy way. They pretty much just say it's just a fancy way of saying that your health could cost the government money. Simple as that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
You come there.
You come there.
You fall
if
ill.
You already, obese. You
get a heart attack.
Whatever.
Get a heart
It's
attack.
gonna cost us money, so we don't want you. End of story. That's pretty much what they're saying. But that's troubling. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Knowing that millions of people live with the conditions worldwide.
Exactly.
Gosh.
So the number of people who may be denied a U.S. visa for that reason.
And they're not looking at your character or your work ethic here.
No.
Or you just being human.
Or your integrity.
Or your integrity. They're just saying, Umalad, Mavlo.
Yeah.
We don't want you. That's it.
And as I said,
That's troubling.
two most prevalent, diabetes. I mean, that is rampant all over the world. Obesity is another serious issue.
Now, we're not thinking of that other aspect. I guess, there are laws against it, right, in the United States, and discrimination. But what if an employer decides, you know what, well, you're diabetic or you're obese, I'm not going to hire you because we're going to have issues with you or other conditions. Now, that's not a good thing. But already you as the leader of a country setting the precedence that, hey, you know what some people could do to follow through your lead. I hope that doesn't happen, but again, there are laws in the United States to prevent that from happening too, so it's a good thing.
The Texas Attorney General, his name is Ken Paxton. right? He's suing the makers of Tylenol, claiming that the makers, right, there's that Tylenol poses a danger to children's brain development.
Is there any evidence of that?
Now, the man has no scientific evidence to support what he's saying there. He's just saying that. Now, I know there's some people that will say, of course, there's scientific evidence, but who are those people that give the scientific evidence? Because as far as we know, the people who have to weigh in on those things, okay, like the American Food and Drug Administration and those kinds of things, these people are saying that there's no link between Tylenol and autism.
What condition?
Autism, they're talking about. Right. Autism. Now, President Donald Trump, who thinks he's the number one,
he's the health expert now.
He's an expert on everything. He's repeating this thing, saying that there's a link. And by the way, folks, it's unproven. It's unproven link between taking Tylenol and autism. Now, you know the amazing thing about those kinds of things? These things tend to pick up traction, you know.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Right?
When it was said.
Yeah, these things tend to pick up traction. The fact that the president of the U.S. is saying that, it makes a big difference. You remember during the campaign what he was saying? Remember what he was saying about immigrants eating dogs and cats?
I was actually thinking about
they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats and so on. By the way, has he been repeating that sort of foolishness?
No.
You see?
I haven't heard it since.
And he was dead serious. I remember Kamala Harris was laughing at him when he was saying that. Because he was serious. He was serious, and she was actually laughing and saying, "But in other words, that's just so extreme."
Why would you say something of that?
That immigrants are eating dogs. So he says he's received reports. So this gentleman just no, I don't call him a gentleman. This man just says things, and once he says, he puts it out there. He doesn't care whether true. Like the thing about elections were rigged and this other thing. The Democrats rigged it. You know, he's repeating. He still repeats that.
Repeating it.
Now listen. The same elections that, according to everybody else, right? It was fair and square. No, as far as I know, no changes were made to change anything about the process. Now he won the last election. Okay, why didn't he complain and say it was probably rigged?
But he won. He'll come out and say it was rigged. He won. If he didn't win,
and I repeat, as far as we know, nothing. There's no changes were made to the way the process is executed. It was the same thing. And then he won overwhelming. In fact, he says he got the highest numbers. Beautiful, no problem. But then now, when you lost, it was rigged.
No, some people are sore losers. And that's what it is.
That's why I can't imagine Mitt bowing out. Mitt just bowing out and allowing another person to come in.
He doesn't have a choice, But going back to the Tylenol thing, I think that decisions about health should be guided by credible evidence, careful study, and obviously medical guidance, not just people with their own agendas saying that it's causing, this medical condition. Evidence for me.
Let me just read that. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists has said that Tylenol is one of the few options for pregnant women to treat pain and fever, because some women go for a rough time when they're going through their pregnancy.
And I know we have exceptions to that. I think some people do have sensitivities to certain medications, and what will work for other people will not work for someone else. So if they did studies along that line, I could understand, because moving off from Tylenol here, I'm allergic to Panadol. Right? And when you go to the hospital, they either give you, that's the first thing that they give you, Panadol. And again, every individual's body is different. So if you come and say, hey, look for sensitivities, and that's a lot of things we go into, I guess, later on, I would advise St. Lucians to do, because for your children, do a food sensitivity test. It's very, very important, because sometimes you might be giving your child, or you even yourself as well as an adult, still do a food sensitivity test. It's very, very important, because sometimes you might be having body pains or other things happening to you, and you're wondering, but why do I feel that way? And keep a food journal as well for yourself and your child is very important as well.
Right.
So you know what's happening to your body.
Good point. However, to state that Tylenol and autism,
there's no link there.
That's a serious thing. That's a serious statement that he's making there. So I don't know, boy. This man is just a
you
case.
Take back the gentleman.
He's a case. That's all I have to say. He's a case. But one thing I want to mention there, the BBC. I think the BBC I think the news director, is it? No. I think the head of the BBC and the chief executive officer of the news or whatever, they resigned. Both resigned. And that's a big story. And it's picking up a lot of traction, getting traction, because apparently they edited some speech that Trump made where he was encouraging the rioters to do their thing peacefully. Okay, apparently he used the word, you do your thing, but you do it peacefully. So apparently the BBC, through those two individuals, because they said they've resigned over this issue, they left that part out, that he said peacefully.
You see, and we go back to the media here. You are charged with a responsibility to put out the right information. It will serve the people. Don't put out what you want. And sometimes we hear that happening, that a politician or someone has to come say, well, that's not what I said. I said more than that. They took up a snippet from that, and that's what you, the viewer or the listener, will hear. But that's really sad. I'm happy that they're no longer there, because any individual that could do that, I
don't think they did it personally. I think whoever their subordinates, and of course as overseers, they should have ensured that this sort of thing doesn't happen.
You can't leave that out. You can't. You should not leave that out. No.
All right. Well,
but again, to our viewers, listening public, or anything, any medium that you're viewing or you're listening, it's always important to go online and get credible information. Go online to credible sources and get it for yourself.
Well, BBC is supposed to be one of the most credible.
Look at what happened.
Yeah, one of the most credible.
If there are live feeds to some of that, get the live feed. It will help. Yeah.
So no doubt Trump must be feeling really, really good about that.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. Okay, let's make one final point before we get into the shout-outs. By the way, are we able to access the shout-outs? Because remember, we're having some internet issues.
Yeah, it's back up and running.
All right. This is something that companies need to think, especially those in the private sector. Okay. Well, the government now is trying to to do it by giving the bonuses and to the public servants and whatever else that you're doing to encourage people to, especially those who are doing a good job, to incentivize you. Okay. And that's a good thing. But it must be done fairly. All right. Now, Tesla. Right, the chief executive officer of Tesla is Elon Musk. Now, I was doing a little research to see what this guy's IQ is. Right, it's believed that he has a very, very high IQ. He's a very, very, very smart guy. Very, very, very smart. And no doubt he's the world's richest man. I think he's worth 400 and something billion.
He is
$437 billion. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of the man is filthy rich. Yeah. All right. Okay. So you'd figure, well, he's good to go. However, the company Tesla, because you have shareholders and so on, he's not the only one in the company. They want him to stay, right? Because I suspect maybe he's the kind of guy that probably gets bored after a while. Yeah. Now, mind you, I don't like his politics. I'll be honest. I don't like Elon Musk's politics because I saw him cheering on Benjamin Netanyahu when he visited when he was speaking to both houses of Congress, and I didn't like that at all. Because as far as I'm concerned, Benjamin Netanyahu is involved in the taking of murdering of people, especially little children. That's as far as I see. That's me. I don't want to see that man. And I see me standing up there clapping for this guy. I say, huh? Now he's a guy I admired, but I admire him for his smarts. Okay,
he's very intelligent.
This guy is on another level. Now I know some people may be saying, well, how could I probably want to give this guy those kinds of that kind of kudos and so on? But I tell you what, a man can be great, and yes, he may not be a good person, huh?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, you can be a great person. It doesn't mean that you're a good person. And let me make sure I qualify that by saying it doesn't mean you're going to do good, even if you are great. Right? And let me just use the Bible as an example. King David, God said to King David, I have given you a name, right? Just as I did for all the great men on the earth. I'm making you as great as them. So it just goes to show, if God can recognize fellas and women who are great, because you could be great at something. You understand? It doesn't mean that you are good. Huh? Okay, as a person. So I just want to make sure I say that. So what Tesla did there? Tesla did something that is out of this world. I'm saying that to employers in St. Lucia to, if you see you have employees who are doing well and taking the company to another level, it's good to give them an incentive. Of course, based on our environment, because we can't do what Tesla is going to be doing
And
for
if you're
Elon Musk.
financially able to.
Exactly.
That's an important thing. Too,
Yeah.
Right.
Right? So they're going to be giving this guy, as an incentive, a pay package of $1 trillion.
What?
$1 trillion.
That's more than most countries' entire economies.
Listen, he's going to be,
What?
if everything goes well, because they expect him, of course, to stay on board and to bring a lot of money to because he's just a smart guy, right? He's a great guy at what he does. So they want him to stay, and they want him to bring a lot of money to the company. I think they're looking at about $8.5 trillion to Tesla, right? So here what they're saying here. Tesla's board members have asked shareholders to approve a long-term incentive package for Elon Musk to retain and motivate the chief executive officer to remain in his current leadership position.
Well, he has to achieve certain milestones.
Yes.
To get that.
But they
which
believe he
and
has
they
the
believe
ability.
that he has the ability. So that's good. And what you rightly said, if your employees are doing good and they're hitting the milestones, then
Incentivize them.
Incentivize them. That's really important. And I love that. I agree with it. But
That's a lot of
$1
money.
trillion? Whoa. That's not just a number,
$1 trillion US dollars. Amazing.
That's a lot of money.
So hey, I would say bravo to the man. The man is great. He's great at what he does. So just keep it going, Mr. Musk. Keep it going. But I like his politics. All right. So just finally from me, the Mega Millions jackpot is now $900 million.
900.
Yes. The last drawing was on Friday. Nobody won. So now, if you win $900 million, there's a cash value of $415.3 million.
Ooh.
That's before taxes, huh? That's before tax. But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So
You're
let me
still
say
gonna
good
be a
morning to
millionaire.
all my friends.
And family members.
All my friends and family members in St. Christ, St. Thomas, mainland USA, wherever you may be. So play the lottery, man. Play the lottery. You never know. You never know.
Is how Andre said that.
All right. So let's get into the shout
The
outs.
shout outs. Let's go. Let's see. Is how you said that. Oh boy. Okay. Let me get the mouse here for a little bit.
Okay, folks, let me help there. This is our drive for today, Monday, November the 10th. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everyone. Those of you on Facebook, YouTube, X, of course, our friends on DBS. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for being with us. All right. So,
okay.
We good now?
So, Baila, family ask we. I'm getting better at part where I think you realize that, hey, I'm dropping it every now and then.
So, do you want me to say something again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me say something. Keena's going to be with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Rev Up the Homegrown coming up at 11:30. Yes, of course. And let me see. There's Zen the DJ from 3 o'clock until 5. And then, of course, we have Paul Politic with Mary Polius from 5 until 6. So that's what's happening. And by the way, folks, I guess for now, Paul Politic, meet the minister, meet the opposition. I guess in a sense, the days are kind of numbered because when elections are called, no doubt they all will take a little break and then I guess decide whether they're coming back to Rev Up or not. So let's see what happens.
They'll come back. I think the programs are pretty healthy, even though you do have some individuals calling or whatever, but we need to know what's happening in the country. So
exactly.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you ready?
Andre.
Uh-oh.
Lord, I do not know what's happening there. I just put in Facebook and it just did whatever it wanted to do, which is weird. Okay, so I'll do Facebook first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Pius Snappy Yeman is in the house on the Facebook platform. He said, good morning.
Good morning, Pius.
Good morning, Pius. John McCurdy is also in the house. And he says, good morning to all. Sharon Peter also says, good morning, Rev-Up family. Happy New Week. She went on to say, bonjour. Barbara Xavier is in the house. She says, good morning and have a great day. Christine Shalry says, blessed Monday to you both. Hi, Shasha, listening in St. Croix.
Shasha,
Hi,
don't forget to
Shasha.
play, man. Yeah, play the thing. $900 million. That's a lot of money. You never know.
I agree.
You never know.
John McCurdy says there's a song that day, dog run away, etc.
Dog.
There's
run
a
away.
song that day dog run away.
Mm.
I don't know.
Maybe remember we were talking earlier about stray dogs and so on.
Stray dogs, most likely, yeah. Someone says, Jan Isaac says, good morning to all. Happy Monday. Rev-Up Slu commented saying hi. I'm not sure who's using the platform, but whoever is responded to everybody on the social media platform, says, how is everyone doing this morning, with a smiling emoji.
All is well with you.
Responded to Sasha, whoever it is that's doing it. Agneta St. Marie says, morning, Andre and Kina. Big up to everyone on the live. Pearl Food Baby Henry says, good morning and happy Monday to Rev-Up St. Lucia family and all in the chat room. The mood is December 1st. LOL. Have a wonderful day. All right. And everyone, Peacemaker says, good morning, Rev-Up family. I'm so busy, keep forgetting about the time clock in America. It has changed. Peacemaker went on to say, good morning, Andre and Kina. Monday morning blessings to everyone. Please forgive me. I will make it when I can. I'm on a bus right now, and I just get to check my phone and realized it is 10 a.m. home. Oh my God. What a life. Love you too, and love everyone who is watching and listening. Peace and love. That's from Peacemaker. Also, Peacemaker went on to say, I'm on a bus in New York going to work. Hopefully I don't miss my stop. LOL. Peacemaker came back and says, Jan Isaac, good morning. I will say blessed Monday, my love, because God has waked me, you, Andre Kina, and all who is listening and watching. Barbara Augustine says, my favorite person, TP. Pearl Food Baby Henry says, you are missed. Pearl Food Baby Henry says, you are missed today. Peacemaker returned and says, Kina, I did watch the episode. How they cremate people is interesting to watch and amazing. It's a wow thing. I couldn't believe it. Nancy Graceling is in the house. She says, yes, Andre, I really miss Tony. I still can't accept that he's gone. Peacemaker returned and says, he should know because he is 1+. You have a child who is the same. Trump is speaking from experience.
I don't get it.
I'm not sure. Maybe something you may have said as it relates to Trump and so on.
What about the Tylenol issue?
Maybe, most likely. Right. Septima Joseph is in the house and she said, good morning. Peacemaker returned and said, Mr. Orange, mother told him don't go into politics because it will be a disaster. And so said, so done. I'm not sure what you're referring. Mr. Orange?
Mr. Orange.
Who's Mr. Orange? Okay, I don't know who Mr. Orange is. Elvin J Team Workers is in the house. Elvin J Team Workers, bonjour. Welcome back. It's been a while. I hope you were doing pretty good. Okay, so that's it for the Facebook platform. Let's see if anybody is thinking. I had to turn on the phone and so many messages are coming in. So let's see what happens on that, our thingy. So, okay, somebody responded to you on there. So that's not for me to read out loud. Somebody says, good morning, Rev-Up family. A blessed and peaceful new week to all. Thank you so much for that. Someone else says, that's on the WhatsApp platform. Someone else says, good morning, Team Rev-Up. A wonderful day to you both. My concern as a human being in my country and Western regulars, asking them why don't they support worthy causes. They show up for the birthday bashes, they show up for just no reason because they like dancing, but they don't for a worthy cause, and that is not nice. But yet they're going to show up at a person's funeral. Tell me if that's making any sense. I think you mentioned that the last time, that when they're barbecues or dances for people, to raise funds, that people just don't show up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty much along the lines of what you're saying.
I think there was a dance on Saturday at the Castries Market.
Right.
I think they were raising funds for a police officer. He has some health issues. And I was driving past, and I don't think it was well attended. I don't think so. But maybe it had to do with the politics.
Maybe.
The fact that people wanted to go to the thing on the market steps there. Maybe they were saving their energy. Maybe. Because that
you
does
could kill two birds with one stone if it's on the same. So just go.
Just stay on time.
Yeah. Oh, Peacemaker said, Mr. Orange is Trump.
Oh, gee. All right.
And she says, yes, the Tylenol. She was referring to his children and Tylenol and so on. So that's that. Someone else on the WhatsApp platform said, who commissioned and certified the George Odlum Stadium as a hospital? The PM did not say the next few days.
Didn't I play the clip?
Yeah, the clip was played. Whoever you are, the clip, Andre played the clip. So what he repeated
is what the
was
Prime Minister said.
What the Prime Minister said. He played the clip earlier. And if you'd want to hear that clip again, listen to Rev-Up Slu News. That will be aired at 1 p.m. So someone else says, Andre, the Prime Minister came to the market steps after the national televised address. He closed the meeting. I don't know.
I didn't understand why he chose to do it like that, to have the national address to make the announcement. I thought he would have just done it live. That's what I thought.
Maybe he wanted to do something different.
Maybe so. But I mean, it doesn't make a difference, really. I just thought that's why he was going to do it.
Someone says, good morning, Andre and Kina. Alan Chastney keeps saying the new St. Jude's Hospital is an 80-year-old building. Isn't it time for the established media to rebuff this statement firmly? Okay, moving on to the next one. I'm not quite sure. I can't watch any clip right now, but thank you for sharing. Nikita Jenna Javier. She says, good morning, Kina and Andre. Tony, we miss you. Preach on, Andre. That's right. People don't want to repent and turn from their wicked ways.
Yep, that's our problem.
Gigi's in
You know why? Because we believe the bad things we're doing, it'll bring us happiness.
No, but
that's how we think.
What it is actually doing is turning you into a wickeder version of yourself. You're just becoming a monster, and eventually it's going to eat you up alive, and people are just going to pull away from you.
But they don't know that
now.
They don't know that. So they actually believe that the bad things that they're doing, it's good.
It's going to catch up with you eventually. Continue?
Yeah, continue.
Gigi says, that's brilliant, Andre. Thanks for keeping Totos next to you. That's absolutely therapeutic for you and his loved ones. Blessed morning, Kiki and Andre. Mwah.
Blessed morning to you.
Back at you. Mwah. Someone said, good morning, Kina and Andre. Kina, you are mixing the issue. An American visa is not a right but a privilege. The country decides what is granted who is granted that privilege. Linking it to discrimination does not apply. I was not linking, not getting a... Sometimes I wonder what people hear. But then again, people hear what they want to hear, not what you're actually saying. But I'm going to continue. In terms of birthright citizenship, the French just across in Martinique has been clamping on it for years. Both issues are a drain on countries' resources, especially when persons turn it into a business. Still confused by what you're saying, though. But anyways.
No, they're talking about having children in the U.S. Going to the States to have your child become a U.S. citizen.
I'm talking about the Martinique aspect and some of the things that they said.
Well, they're just using Martinique as an example. Yeah. In other words, nothing new.
That's nothing new. Someone else says, good morning, TP, Kiki, and the Rev-Up family. I would like you guys to shout out Mr. and Mrs. Leslie Compton from Brooklyn. Mr. Leslie is from St. Lucia. He knows Andre very well. We go to the same church, and they told me they're listening to Rev-Up every day, especially. They listen, rather, but it's listening not there. They listen to Rev-Up every day, especially this program. I was so happy. Blessed week from all of you. Sunshine Charles. If I win the mega, I'll help out Andre Paul.
I'm waiting. So let's say good morning to Leslie Compton and his entire family, especially his wife. I think he told me that his wife is a pastor.
Oh, nice.
So I suspect that's the church that they're talking about.
Oh, nice.
The denomination.
That's super
cool. Yeah, really cool.
Someone...
So Leslie, thanks a lot for listening as always, man, and viewing as well, I'm sure.
Oh, that one is quite long. But the person says, "Good morning. I don't want my name to be mentioned. No, I won't say it. I just wanted to say I am thankful to Andre for fighting the cause for the people. What I wanted to say is government has workers under the NIC working in the 1980s, 1990s, and 2020. They are pension workers like nurse attention, handyman, scavenger. What? We all work for no money at all for a month. Now he should consider us because we are government workers and we should be getting the $600. It's not fair to us. Even if we got a raise in NIC to 500, we are thankful, but we should be getting the 600 as government workers from him. We deserve it too. Have a blessed day to you both.
Well, the person making a case, a very, very important case, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I want to support all what you said there.
Me
Chima,
too.
I definitely support it. Okay, and I've said it a million times already. When you are running a country, right, you have to be very, very careful that you treat everybody fairly. You understand? I know they mean well. And I know they can't do everything. And I know they don't really, the government doesn't have a say in the NIC per se, but they do have influence.
They do have influence.
So when you making those things, for example, like they're going to be getting a $500 bonus and this sort of thing, it the optics is how that looks. One set of people get in, you have other pensioners under the NIC umbrella who are not going to get anything. You understand?
Yes.
And they have to be
agree.
careful with those things. And let me just use the opportunity again. And Chima, I really appreciate what you said there. Now, you see, the person is very careful not to give their name because they just may be targeted.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? I was listening to Mr. Law, Cameron Law from the Police Welfare Association, and he was saying the same thing, that police officers are afraid to speak out. That shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
That shouldn't be.
It should never be.
Imagine, he
That's
said
not-
it a
that's
few
really
times, the
not
police officers are afraid to speak out. Why should a police officer be afraid to, or anybody
Something is
for that
affecting
matter?
me. I have a right to speak
To
out
speak out.
about it.
But you see, now you have those other people who are these spirited supporters. The minute you see you go against the grain, they're quick to come and chime in and say to you, basically, you've been unreasonable. No, leave people alone. Let me give you a quick little story in the Bible, okay? According to the law back in the day there in the wilderness with Moses and the people, if a man didn't have any male children, okay, and he just had daughters, the daughters were not entitled to receive his property.
Yeah.
That was the law. Now, these ladies could have just sat back and accept that sort of thing because they figure, okay, that's what the law says, that's what God says, and leave it alone. No, they said, let's go to Moses and make our case, which they did. Now, let me tell you, that was revolutionary back there, because by right, women who kind of like, you don't talk and you don't say anything.
I submit, and
Yeah,
that's it.
you just submit. No, and they said, Moses, this is not right. Right? If our father died and he doesn't have any male children, we are his legitimate children. We should be getting what our father has.
Yeah.
And guess what? Moses. Now, thank God, Moses was a guy. He could see the sense in what they're saying. He didn't just dismiss them. He said, "Okay, all right. I think you have a case there. Let me take it to the Lord." Right? And then he came back and he said, "You were right, and you can now have your father's property." What if they didn't say anything? So because now you figure in America they don't have that, or in Canada they don't have that, or in England they don't have it, so because this is we should just keep quiet? You say anything? Nah. I disagree. Once people come and they make their case, I let them state their case.
I agree.
So I have a case to make. And here's the case I'm making. I'm sending that directly to the NIC. Right? Imagine, Kina, as the thing stands right now, if look, Tony, my brother, Tony didn't get an opportunity to really benefit
from
right? Okay,
his contributions.
Right. Let's just assume he had 3 children, who were under the age of 18. You know what would happen? They'd go to the NIC. Yes, I know there's a funeral grant. Yeah, that's true. There's a funeral grant.
Grant.
And we understand that.
Yeah.
And bravo to the NIC for giving the funeral grant. I'm not knocking that at all. It's beautiful. So let's just assume Tony now was entitled to get $500, because we have to look at worst case scenarios. We're always looking at the best case scenario. Oh, there's the highest amount, which is $3,000. We must consider those at the lower ends of the echelon, right? Lower, right?
They're there.
So they're there, right? There are people who get $400 for as a matter of fact, or $500, or whatever the case may be. But let's just go for argument's sake. Say Tony was supposed to get $1,000, right? For argument's sake. He has 3 children under the age of 18. Yes, they would give Tony they'll give the children what he was supposed to get. But guess what? Instead of giving them the $1,000 which he was entitled to, they get $500.
What is that going to do?
And imagine you have 3
What is that going to do?
children. So they have to. So 3 children have to share. Who are under the age of 18, they have to share They have to share $500.
No, man. Nah. Whatever he was supposed to, just give it to them.
Just give it, especially to the children.
If
the
the
lady,
person has
the wife, I can
children.
maybe understand the wife, because the wife can always get another husband. Although there's some women, because of their situation, they can't get another.
They can't get another, right?
Right? That's a
The
possibility.
children doesn't have to suffer. If
You
the
giving
half?
half?
Nah.
Say papi show.
That's
All right,
that
and I
shouldn't
hope that the policymakers are listening.
happen. Yeah.
That needs to change. Now I know there are the spirited supporters again who will come and say, "Oh, in America that's how it is." In England, that's America.
Yeah. Try not to compare. too
So
much
because now Trump wants to say to us, that you can't have your child in America. Are we supposed to do that too? That's supposed to be cool?
No. And that's what some people say, because it's happening in America, then
It's not supposed to happen.
it should
Or in
happen
Canada.
in whatever.
We don't have that in Canada.
No, I don't agree with that.
Anybody who's reasonable can see this is just not right. It's not right. And the
It
NIC
is
needs
not.
to change that policy. They need to change that, because you're talking about the most vulnerable in society. The old,
the elderly,
the elderly, and
our
the
children,
sick,
the sick
and
the
children. And God judges a nation by the way we treat the most vulnerable. Remember that.
A lot of people seem to forget that, because they quick to tout and forget that, hey, at some point in time, what you're doing is going to affect you or someone you love.
Exactly.
And the policies you want to put in place now will affect people for generations. And not only that, the cost of living keeps going up.
Exactly.
So you might think, hey, maybe 20 years ago, $500 could have, block a hole. You didn't block in the hole now. By the time you pay electricity, water, or whatever it is, what do you have left? Think about it, really. And our children can't continue to suffer. So what Andre is saying, that's a very valid point, and I agree with that as well.
But once you see you go against the grain, they want to go against you now for speaking out.
Yeah.
But I gave a good example back in the day of Moses, where these two young ladies went up and said, "Moses, this is not right." And that was revolutionary back in the day. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
Someone says, Andre, good day, Kiki and Andre. Have a good, wonderful day. My take on the 2% VAT-free day should...
2%?
I think the person should have said VAT-free day, but we have 2% there. My take on the VAT-free day, VAT should be removed from all goods. They can do it no VAT at all. People not stupid. Andre, you surprised me this morning with a Christmas song. Big up to you.
Well, you can thank Tony for that.
Yeah, so she
and
says
also me for backing down.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta back down. There's nothing wrong with backing down when
Yeah, but the thing about the VAT is that's what we're being told, that we don't have a choice. That this has to. I cannot explain it. I'm not an expert, but apparently it has nothing to do with just St. Lucia. This is a regional issue, and everybody's supposed
I don't think people are asking for VAT to be removed entirely.
And that what they call it?
I think she was saying my take on the 2% VAT-free day. So I'm not quite sure. I'd never heard of 2% VAT-free day. I'm not sure if I only heard of VAT-free day, not a 2% VAT.
So, folks, we have to plan for that, huh?
I'm not sure.
Whatever it is that you need.
Plan for it?
Plan for it well, yeah.
What about people that ain't got no money for VAT-free day? On that particular day, you could be saying it's Monday, whatever date, and they just don't have the money to enjoy what others are enjoying. Maybe they're not going to be paid around that time too. So that's also something that we need to really think about.
You're right about that.
Some people welcome it, but the bigger picture there is when there's a VAT-free day, not everyone is going to benefit from it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Remember Jesus Christ said, "The poor you'll always have with you." It'll always be there. And again, if you look at the context within which Jesus was saying that, he was saying, and this again, you don't have to take the advice. He was saying, when you see you hook up with me, that's what Jesus Christ is saying. When you hook up with me, you're not going to be poor anymore.
Yes.
Okay? He said the poor you will. So in other words, you have another tranche. You have another trench. You have another trench, right? But then now you have the option now of linking up with Jesus Christ. And then he says to you, now, watch what I'm going to do in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Watch what I'm going to do.
It'll be interesting what he's going to do in your life, too, when you just, let him take full control. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, man.
We also have someone who says, Arthur Charles says, good morning, folks. Today is the birthday of Ozane Alexander and Agatha. One second. Agatha Christie Haynes of Year 4, and happy wedding anniversary.
Imagine the person actually has Agatha Christie's name. Imagine that.
Agatha Christie Haynes.
Yeah, that's a famous famous writer, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Yeah, Agatha Christie. I think they had a whole bunch of, a series of books, and I think she's like sort of a sleuth, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she wrote some good books.
So
Agatha
today.
Christie, yeah.
Right.
Now, a lot of people say Agatha. It's actually Agatha.
Some people say Agatha, some people say Agatha. I don't think it really matters.
And some people say Tamar, right? It's Tamar. Tamar.
Tamera.
Tamar.
Some people say Tamar.
Yeah, some people say Tamar.
It's the parents, The parents say it's Tamar or Tamar or whatever
St. Lucians. St. Lucians.
Say what?
Yeah, this is the way we pronounce it. The name. We always have a way we pronounce things.
Some people are so particular about names or whatever. I ain't taking you to heaven. That's all I can say.
All right.
So the person also went on to say, happy wedding anniversary to Mr. Errol Alexander and former assistant commissioner of police, 41 years of marriage. Woohoo!
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Who's that again?
Errol Alexander.
Oh, okay.
So the former assistant commissioner of police.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's from Suffer, I believe.
All right, Mr. Alexander, and your wife, congratulations.
Congratulations. How Arthur Charles know all of that?
That's his business.
Arthur Charles, you need to come up with a birthday book daily or something.
He knows everybody's birthday, everybody's real name. Yeah,
that's good.
He makes it his business to know these things.
I'm happy that he's doing so. That's good. That's good.
A real investigator, that's there. A real investigator. Yeah.
Did he come out to say when it was your birthday and say today is the birthday of Andre Paul?
He does it all the time.
Oh gosh.
So that's it?
Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Alrighty. So tell us what you have coming up. I know you have Rev-Up the Homegrown.
11:30 to 12:30 p.m. And also, Puff Daddy was reportedly caught making homemade alcohol in prison.
You serious? Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You sure that's not fake news?
Nah, it ain't fake.
Oh boy.
We just used apple, sugar, and I think Fanta. And he allowed it to ferment, and what was it? I guess he wanted some,
I hope that doesn't affect his next hearing.
We'll see. Most likely it will.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that.
Do something like that.
I don't know, boy. I don't know. He's not thinking.
Boy.
He's not thinking.
And that goes back to what the judge was saying. That's why they sentenced him, because he wanted to, go out there and be back with his family. Mm-hmm. So you're in prison.
And they're saying to him, the judge is saying, I don't believe you're ready.
You're ready.
You haven't shown that you've changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there he is making homemade. Maybe he wanted to, I don't know. I ain't looking for no excuses for Didi anyway. Let God judge him. And he was carrying on. South Korea as well, Andre, is taking a bold step against school bullying. Right? So what they're doing, they're asking top universities and they're checking students' past bullying records during admissions. So if you're a bully, you're not going to be admitted to that school. Plain and simple. No ifs, no buts, no maybes about it. Just no. And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. There should be no place for bullying in schools or in this world.
Especially, but they're going to have a tough time now dealing with bullies who are leaders of countries. How are they going to manage this one?
And then these bullies, they are bullies that are managers in certain businesses as well. That's another one too. Oh my word! Sometimes I wonder how these people sleep at night.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's that. Well, I'll keep updating everyone on that, and because that's a first for South Korea. Not surprised though, but I'll still, keep you guys abreast on it. A new study showing that, Andre, that going to bed at 1 a.m. can impact our mental health.
Negatively?
Negatively.
Oh, sure. That's like super late, man.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
So
unless, of course, I guess you have a very good reason for doing
for you
that.
to go to bed late, but don't make it a habit though, because some people do make it a habit.
But the thing is, Kina, some people work those kinds of shifts,
hours and so, but
and they get home, they leave work at 11 o'clock, maybe midnight,
and they're on
and they
the
get
road.
home at 1 o'clock.
And they have to try to wind down and stuff like that.
I remember when I was in the US, I was in Worcester, Massachusetts. I did a graveyard shift for a month, and I promised myself I would never do that again. Oh my God, how people manage that sort of thing.
I don't know how they do.
When you're supposed to be sleeping, you are up. You are up. I used to look, there was a vent outside that factory where I was working, and I used to look up at that vent looking for daylight.
It's like you're in prison, right? Like, oh my God,
looking for daylight. I said, never me again. My gosh, man. Why?
Oh boy.
Yeah, when you're supposed to be sleeping, you're awake.
Yeah.
That must have an effect on your health.
And it goes back to, our forefathers. We had a cut-off time for everything. Same thing with the way we ate, and so many things has changed. And that's really affecting our health in a number of ways.
The society, the system.
Yes, the system has changed.
Right, look at it with climate change, for example. It has to do with since the Industrial Revolution, all these things started. The whole thing has just changed. So it's heading in a real, downward trajectory, and we may not be around to see it, but at some point this is going to give.
It's going to give at some point in time.
You can't keep going like this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, Kina, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So have yourself a great show, folks.
And
Kina
have yourself
will
a
be
great
with you
day.
until 3 o'clock this afternoon. From 3, don't forget Zen the DJ. From 3 until 5. Then from 5, we have Paul Politic with Mary Polius. So this has been Hard Drive. Thank you very much for listening, and thanks for viewing on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, and also on DBS Television. Until tomorrow morning, when you can join me, same time, 5 o'clock for another Wake Up and Live. Thanks a lot for listening. The program brought to you the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we truly care. During life's most difficult moments, we want you to know you are not alone.
At Ram Bally's, we are dedicated to providing dignity, compassion, and comfort when you need it the most.
Our caring team is here to walk with you every step of the way, whether it's in planning a gentle farewell or celebrating the beautiful life of your loved one.
We understand how precious they are, and we promise to honor their memory with the utmost respect and love.
Let us help you find peace and solace during this challenging time.
Please reach out to us at
758-452-2021, Castries, or 758-454-9239, Latuni, Viewfort, or visit us at ramballysfuneral.com.
We're here for you, ready to listen, support,
and serve with heartfelt compassion. You can lean on us.
At Ram Bally's,
we care.
You're listening to Rev-Up Solution.